Had no need to fight tonight.
The 2022 season previews continue today with the New Jersey Devils, a team that, it's actually pretty exciting where their future's heading, and I'm all in for the train. Their rebuild kind of took shorter than others. I mean, they made the playoffs one year. They missed since 2012. Then they made it in 2018. This hat is so tight. And then they haven't made it for the past couple of years. So, you can kind of take that what you will. But they have a really bright future coming. They really do. I love their young team. I love so many of their guys. So many of their guys are so entertaining, so much fun to watch. I am really excited for this Devils team. They're one of my most excited teams coming up. So anyways, before we get into this preview, if you're new to the channel and have not already subscribed, I really appreciate if you will. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of 2022. We are only 58 away, if I'm not mistaken. We might be more by now. But my Islanders video hasn't done too well. I mean, some videos aren't going to do well. So, I mean, you gotta accept that being a YouTuber, and it took me a while to accept that, but I have. So anyways, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get into the preview. So, during last season for the New Jersey Devils, it was another rebuilding season. They went 19-30-7 for 45 points. They finished 29th in the NHL, and they missed the playoffs. So, it's not horrible. That isn't completely bad for being a rebuilding team that they are, and a young team that really is developing, and people aren't realizing that. This team is still developing, and they may miss the playoffs this coming year. And part of that might not be their fault because of, obviously, the how competitive the Metro is. It could be because the young guys are still developing. It's gonna take time. We still need to see Alexander Holtz get put into the lineup. We still need to see Nolan Foote get put into the lineup and see where he places. Shakir Mukhamaladulin, a couple of the guys on that roster as well. Blackwood, although, he hasn't really, been too well, he still needs to develop. And I think this season is going to be much easier for him to do so. But this isn't terrible. I remember towards the end of the season, they were just god-awful. They just couldn't score at all. They were losing games. They were getting shut out. It looked like Buffalo might even take their spot over them for 7th, because Buffalo was doing well for a little bit there. And, I'm not going to say that Buffalo is the reason why, but, this team started winning a little bit more, of course, since they played the Flyers. They knocked the Flyers out of the playoffs. And, we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, let's get into the key departures. So in the good old key departures realm, we have about 5 players here. They aren't too big of guys. Some of them might make more impacts than others. They lost Ryan Murray to free agency. Obviously a loss on the blue line, but that really wasn't that big of a deal. They lost Nate Bastian to, I think, Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure they lost him to Seattle. They lost Mikhail Maltsev in a trade with the Colorado Avalanche, we will talk about later. They also lost Will Butcher in a trade to the Buffalo Sabres, which was basically to clear cap space. And then they also lost a guy that I'm very high on, and I've always liked him, Nick Merkley. And I hope he does well in San Jose. Genuinely. He's going to have a much weaker core that he's going to be playing around, and I'm very excited to see, what he's going to do. So obviously I'm excited to see how he's going to do. And apart from that, that's really their key departures. Kind of guys that need to move out of there, so in that way they can get in the guys that they needed now to start winning. And I think they got the right guys in free agency and via trade for some of these guys, to the point where I say, I think this team is ready, if not they're almost ready, for a cup contention. So in the realm of key arrivals, you have about 4 names here, and you might think 4 names is nothing compared to what Vancouver did. Yeah, have they signed Quinn Hughes yet? Have they signed Elias Pettersson yet? Huh? Anyways, I'm waiting. For their key arrivals, they acquired Dougie Hamilton from the Carolina Hurricanes via free agency. Signed him to a big contract. I like this deal. I do. I think that Dougie Hamilton was their one guy to make this blue line just glue together. And, like, the one thing I was saying was, like, well, the offense is great for the Devils. I love their offense. The thing that I thought was generally the weakest was the defense. I didn't think the goaltending was a problem. I think Blackwood was playing in front of a bad defensive structure. And I got to be honest, moving out Will Butcher and Ryan Murray really does help this team out. So getting in Dougie Hamilton is great. They also acquired Jonathan Bernier from technically the Carolina Hurricanes through free agency, but I'm gonna say Detroit because he didn't play a game for Carolina. But I think I made a trade. I think I made a video on that. I should make an individual video on that, recapping that, just to diss the Canes. My friend Matt would love that. Yeah, Bernier. He's gonna be probably a backup. I would not be surprised if they look at this and be like, you know what, maybe let's put Bernier at starter. Or they could look at it and be like, maybe we'll just split him. Maybe we'll split him 40-40. Like 41 games. Maybe each player will play 41 games. But, of course, that'll get affected by injuries. But you know what I mean. Maybe they'll try and split it that way. And that could work out, honestly. But I'm not sure how they want to go with this. Let me know in the comments below. They also acquired from the Colorado Avalanche in a trade, which was a great trade, by the way. They acquired Ryan Graves from the Colorado Avalanche, as I said. Graves, I've liked him. It's just the thing is with Colorado's defense. What? Colorado's defense is like, it's stacked. It really is stacked. And the thing is, they were going to have to protect a lot of guys, and they were going to have to leave Graves exposed in the expansion draft. And we saw a lot of trades where teams did that, like the Aiden Hill trade, for example, the Jared McCann trade, although it meant freaking nothing because he got claimed anyways. But, that's basically, one of the deals they had to make. And I think the Devils, they took advantage on a move and a player that they would have lost for nothing. And you know what? Colorado might as well have lost him for nothing. I like Maltsev. I like what he's done with the Devils. But I'm not sure if he's going to crack that Colorado lineup. They really just got him for a depth forward. If I'm not mistaken, a second-round draft choice? I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. They also acquired for the fourth guy. They also acquired Christian Jaros. I spelled his name wrong on the note sheet here. But, they acquired him. Solid depth forward in the Nick Merkley trade. I still think San Jose wins that by a mile, most definitely. And anyways, let's get into the projected lineups now. So for the key arrivals for your New Jersey Devils, I added a lot of depth because I think there's a lot of guys who are really going to impact this lineup and make a lot of changes and a lot of consideration this coming season. So, top 6, Miles Wood, Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt. Then you have Tomas Tatar, Nico Hischier, and my boy Yegor Sharangovich. Let's go through this. So, Wood, Hughes, Bratt. You're probably asking, like, why didn't they put Tatar on the first line? I don't see Tatar as a first liner anymore. I don't even see him as a top 6 forward anymore. I just look at Zacha and Kuakinen and I'm like, I don't really know about that, to be honest. I really, really do like that top 6. I do. I like the depth because I think the line of Wood, Hughes, Bratt is going to be very underrated. Hughes is going to light up. He's going to light up Miles Wood, and Jesper Bratt's going to be Jesper Bratt. I love that first line. As for the second line, Nico Hischier, obviously, the captain of the team should flourish. Sharangovich will be hopefully not run into a sophomore slump and have a good second season. And then, of course, Thomas Tatar. I mean, he's a very solid forward as well. I mean, I said he isn't really top 6 anymore, but he could still be a solid player in the NHL. He just didn't play in the games for Montreal, and that's what made people forget him. Anyways, on to the bottom 6 and the guys below them. You have Pavel Zacha, Jesper Boquist, and Andreas Janssen. Then you have Jan Kuakinen, Michael McLeod, and Mark Studnick. Then for the fill-in guys, you have Alexander Holtz, De Leo, Dawson Mercer, Nolan Foote, Tice Thompson, and A.J. Greer. Those are all the guys that I have there. That is a lot. And like I said, you still need to get Foote into the lines. You still need to get Holtz into the lines. These guys are definitely going to get chances during the season. So we're most definitely going to see that. And I like that bottom 6. That bottom 6 is extremely young. Kuakinen's young. McLeod's young. Studnick's young. Janssen's still a solid forward. I have his rookie card, ironically. Boquist is young and solid. Zacha is pretty solid as well. I like this forward core. And then I like the guys that they're going to have fill in over it. Like, generally, they already are one of my favorite teams. Like, I love this core. I love every player on this core. Like, everyone that's coming up. It's amazing to see it. So as for the defense, I realize I don't have Shakir Mukamadullah mentioned in here, but he would be on the lefty side if I'm not mistaken. The pairings are Ryan Graves and Dougie Hamilton, Ty Smith and Pk Subban, Jonas Siegenthaler and Damon Severson. Then have Christian Yaros and Shakir. I don't have him mentioned in there as a fill-in players as well. Shakir will definitely get time. He might even take Siegenthaler's third pairing spot just because of the Devils' defensive structure. The defense is still kind of weak, but at the same time, it's not terrible. So let's go through here. So Graves and Hamilton, probably one of the best pairings in the NHL if it's healthy. I'm genuinely going to stand by that. I love that pairing. Second pairing, Ty Smith and Pk Subban. I love Ty Smith. I love how he developed as a young rookie. And Subban, you never know. He can still go back to the guy he used to be. But although I doubt it playing second pairing, it can happen. As for the third pairing is kind of weak, but I think that's why they have Shakir. Siegenthaler and Severson is your third pairing. Not terrible. And, of course, you have Yaros as well as a fill-in defenseman who probably won't play too much. But, we'll still see him get some time. As for the goaltending, we have Mackenzie Blackwood, Jonathan Bernier, and Scott Wedgwood. As I said, it could be Bernier's net, it could be Blackwood's net. I honestly don't freaking know. It could be one of the two. So depending on how you look at it as a Devils fan, a casual fan, a diehard fan, any type of fan in the NHL, you can tell me in the comments below what you think, whether it's going to be Blackwood or Bernier that leads. I don't know, to be honest. And it could be Scott Wedgwood that leads, for all I know. They could all fall apart. You never know. So, anyways, that's your roster. I have no problems with this roster at all. I love the forward core. I like the defense. The third pairing kind of scares me, but I like that. The goaltending I really like. Any way you go is a good situation. You split the games. You let Bernier be a starter. You let Blackwood be a starter. Either way, you win. All three ways, it's a win-win-win situation. And that's what I love about it. So, just saying. But it could be a lot harder to make the playoffs this season. And the reason for that is, do they make the playoffs? That's our question, by the way. I want to say yes. I genuinely freaking do. But this division is so competitive. All of these teams, I've said it in every single Eastern Conference preview, and I will say it for every single Eastern Conference preview to come. Every team in the Eastern Conference is a playoff team. Even Washington and Pittsburgh. You can argue that they're not. You can argue, they're going downhill. Sure, they're the two teams that you look at that are probably going to go downhill. But the thing is, those teams are playoff teams right now, and the teams that aren't are moving into becoming a playoff team, except for Columbus and Buffalo. And even Buffalo in a couple of years could be, a playoff team if everything goes right, of course. Something's probably going to go to shit and they'll be on rebuild for 10 years again. But, nonetheless, I don't know. I want to say yes. I want to say no. I don't know. Anything can happen. That's what I'm going up with the Metropolitan. I don't know if my Flyers are going to make the playoffs. I don't. I can predict anything. I've said it for every preview. I don't know. But, I guess we'll find out somehow. We'll probably find out when the next season comes that I'll either be making a review early or I'll be making it a little bit later than others. So, thank you all for watching. For Ice Perez, I really, really, really do appreciate it. If you can subscribe, that would be nice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And, I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.